Hey everybody, it's another solo day in the studio. It's your girl Kat Myers. I'm your host for the Kat Myers Show. This is a YouTube podcast that airs every Wednesday at 7 a.m. I am here. We are here to entertain you, to educate you, but most importantly, to empower you. And so we're going to do that on today's episode. Yes, just me. I'm going to do it. We're going to talk about some exciting things. We're going to talk about some current events. I'm going to share some new things about me that I didn't share last time. And I have some things in the works. So I'm going to give you an exclusive sneak peek as to what's coming up. My show is a legacy of a radio show that aired on WAAW Shout 94.7 FM down in Aiken, South Carolina. It was called The Voice of the People. My dad, Dr. Kenneth Myers Sr., was the host. His slogan was, I love you enough to tell you the truth, and I respect you enough to give you the facts. So we are happy to be here another week, another day. Can't complain. Can't complain. I just got back from my family reunion. So I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a resident and a native of Columbia, South Carolina. I've gotten out a few times as a kid. I've gotten out for the summers for some job opportunities, but for the most part, I've been here. So I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. It's the capital city. And my family reunion was in New York. And we stayed in a hotel in Manhattan, Times Square, baby. So I was in the city, okay? I was in the Big Apple. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was on the subway. I was on the bus. I was on the express bus to get to New Jersey for my flights. I was on an Uber. The only thing I didn't catch was a taxi. I had pizza. Okay. I went and saw the Statue of Liberty with my cousins. And you know, it's so funny thinking about the entire family reunion. It was my brother, sister-in-law, mom, stepdad, and everybody else was my cousins. I'm like, I feel like that's a sign I'm getting older. Because usually, you know, right, it's the aunts and the uncles. But my cousins are now aunts and uncles. I'm not an aunt yet, but I'm in auntie age. I'm in auntie status, okay? But the family reunion was a blessing to me. It was a lot of work. I was on the planning committee. So while I was there, I had a few tasks and things that I had to do for the family. But it was all a labor of love. And I felt so full from that experience. We've had some small family reunions, some almost non-existent family reunions, and we've had some really large ones. We learned at this reunion that our largest allegedly was in 1987. That's the year I was born. But I think this reunion is a close 2 or 3 to that one. We had a great, great turnout. We had a great time. My flight coming back was delayed for about 12 hours. So first it was canceled. And then I got another flight with the same airline. But in the meantime, I got a hotel room and I slept for like 15 minutes. And then I found the new flight flying out at like 1:30 in the morning. So yesterday was rough. Yesterday and today just kind of blurred together because I didn't really sleep between yesterday and today. But I'm grateful to have a job where I was able to work from home and then I got some rest today. But let's go ahead and jump in. So last week, we mourned the loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I know a lot of people are probably feeling the same way. Like, we grew up together, right? Like, that's our big brother. Like, that's our cousin. A lot of shows like The Bill Cosby Show and, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, those were the families that we grew up with. And so his death is rough. I didn't personally know him. A lot of us probably didn't personally know him, but he was part of our lives. He was a fabric of our lives. And so I just want to say rest in peace, rest in power to him. I want to extend my condolences to his family and those who personally knew him. May he rest in peace. So coming off of that loss and then headed to my family reunion, I think I had an even more grateful heart than normal, if that makes sense. So this was a heavy week, but also a grateful week. Can you guys believe it? This week is the last week of July. I was just talking about how it's the halftime of the year. Well, halftime is over. We're heading into August, like back to school, like the fall. I've been in school since January working on my certification to become a certified health and life coach. Um, but I finished all my coursework. So I'm just kind of doing, we have like a clinical where we have practice clients. So I'm just in that phase, going to close that out and I'm ready to get certified, baby. Coach K is a business that I started 4 years ago when I closed my law firm and I wanted to transition out of being a lawyer, to be honest with you. And so that's the avenue that I created, kind of let it sit for a while. But as soon as I get this certification, I'm going to be ready. So there's Coach K, where I'm going to do some life coaching or love coaching, transformation coaching. Look out for what I'm going to call myself. And then under that is this podcast. Coach K's motto is, it's time to live your best life. And me doing this podcast is part of that theme. And then the book that I wrote, You Were Supposed to Love Me, Reflections of a Recovering Overlover, also falls under that. So it's the coaching business, the podcast, and my book. Boom, boom, boom. And you can find me on Instagram at Coach K Best Life, at KR_Myers. And on that Instagram, I advertise both my podcast and my book. So y'all probably knew that already, but just wanted to give you that little friendly reminder. And let's go ahead and just jump into some questions for this podcast, for this episode. And we'll keep it short and sweet. So one of the questions I have not asked myself is, what are you currently reading or learning? Either in a book, an article, YouTube, etc. Well, first I was going to, reiterate, I'm learning how to be a health and life coach. I finished all my coursework a couple weeks ago. And outside of that, I'm learning about the TikTok shop. I want to sell my books on there. So I'm learning how to create a business on TikTok shop. I've submitted an application like 5 different times and done something wrong each time. So I'm trying to get that right. And then I'm also creating my own kind of showcase of products that are in a line with my brand of Coach K, of the Kat Myers Show, and of my book, You Were Supposed to Love Me. And I promote some of those products on TikTok. So that's what I've been learning recently. The next question is, what TV shows or series are you currently into and you just can't stop thinking about? So I love that TV show. It's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken, called Harlem, with Megan Good in it and some other great actresses. I didn't get to go to Harlem while I was in New York. That's one thing I got to go back and do. Shoot, I might go back and just buy a place in Harlem. But I've watched all the episodes. I've watched all the seasons. So because of that, I don't really watch much TV. Every now and then I'll sit back and watch a movie, a good movie. But Harlem is my show. The next question I wrote is, what is the last great movie you saw? I'm going to amend that question to, what's the last great play that you saw? And that will be Hell's Kitchen, a Broadway play that I saw in New York this past weekend. It's the story of Alicia Keys' coming of age story. Alicia Keys was great. Alicia Keys' character was great. But her mother, the character that played her mother, she was an amazing singer. And then the lady who played her piano teacher, she was an amazing singer. A friend of mine told me all about this play the week before I went. I mean, he did such a good job describing it. I almost didn't need to go, but I had to go see for myself. And everything he told me about that play and more was true. It was just amazing. I cried, I laughed, and I just thought about what an amazing catalog of music that Alicia Keys has, that it could even be made into a Broadway play. I remember when Alicia Keys first came out, her debut album, I remember her CD, and I remember her debut song, Fallen. And I had gone on an overseas trip in middle school. And when I came back, my brother was like, Katherine, since you left, this album came out, this artist came out, you gotta check her out. So it was Alicia Keys, and I've been a fan ever since. So that must have been like the summer of 2001. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. Yeah, my voice is gone, but I still had to give it a little try. Shout out to Alicia Keys. Shout out to New York. I play a couple of her songs, City of Gods and New York, Please Go Easy on Me Tonight. I played that all while I was in New York. Another question I have is, are you into politics or the news, and how do you not get overwhelmed or discouraged by it? That's a tough question for me on a couple levels. Number one, since I was 15 years old, I had decided that I would run for office. And that decision has impacted a lot of my decisions. I'm turning 38 this year and I haven't run for any office yet. So I kind of, I want to stay in touch. You know, that's one reason why I want to stay involved in politics, but I've found a way to do it without over consuming news. Like, I've found out when my local neighborhood association meetings are, and I attend my local county council meetings, my city council meetings, and I attend those meetings. I have lunches and coffees and meetings with my representatives. I call them on the phone. And so I kind of stay involved in that way. Somebody was telling me about Twitter and how that's a great way to stay involved without getting overwhelmed. With the news, I could probably do better. I would sometimes watch the 7 o'clock news or the 6 o'clock news or turn the news on in the morning while I'm getting ready. But I will tell you that my morning routine is pretty sacred for me. And so I'd rather not inundate myself with the news while I'm getting ready and just waking up in the morning. And sometimes I don't even want to watch it at night. I want to unwind. I want to get myself ready for the evening. But I am a person who talks to a lot of people, so that helps me stay up to date. And then I also, I'm pretty active on social media, so I get to hear a lot of news that way. Next and last question for this episode is, a large part of my self-love journey has been setting and enforcing boundaries to protect my peace and my happiness. So the question is, how have you learned to say no? So that's something that I've learned with time, and I've learned with appreciation of my happiness and my peace. I think it's pretty easy for me now because it's a question of priorities. It's a question of what matters to me. And it's a question of choosing myself, my priorities, my goals, my family, my friends over pleasing someone else. And I don't want to oversimplify it, but I think almost every time those are the two things, the competing interests. It's my interest and then making someone else happy. It's my interest in trying to prove to someone else that I'm a good friend. It's my interest, or it's me sacrificing to make someone else's interests be met. And so I've been able to say no by getting clarity around what matters to me. And so for me, I know that every Monday night at 8 p.m., I'm recording my podcast. So it's going to take something really big for me to choose anything else at this hour on this day. You know, Tuesday nights, I coach a client for my coaching business. Wednesday night, I coach a client. Wednesday night, I do Bible studies sometimes. Wednesday night, I heard the women play basketball at a local park. So Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays are kind of like my business days. Get things done, make progress kind of days. But even outside of my schedule, you know, my finances, my peace of mind, if someone asks me to do something and it makes me feel uncomfortable, the answer is no. If someone asks me to do something and it causes me to go beyond what I can afford, the answer is no. If someone asked me to speak at an event, I've kind of come to the place where unless it's a paid event, I'm only speaking for free at 3 schools. And that's my middle school, my high school, and my elementary school. So because I've kind of created that for myself, kind of created that boundary for myself, if it's outside of that, the answer is no. And I remember for a long time saying no was so hard for me. But that's because I didn't have things, projects that mattered to me more than the other person's interests. Validation mattered to me. Inclusion mattered to me. Being liked mattered to me more than my own interests. And so that's changed. So saying no is super easy. All right, listening audience. And just like that, we wrapped up another episode. I'm so grateful for y'all. I'm so grateful. This is episode number 5. So you've listened to 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for you to be here listening to 5, I'm so grateful. I may have told you this already, but I'm on a journey to record 100 podcasts. And I'm going to do it every week if I can help it. Today, I had 2 people lined up. I had a few conflicts. I'm going to get them rescheduled. So y'all more than likely will not have a solo session, a solo episode for me next week. But every week, it'll either be a guest or it'll be me entertaining you, educating you, or empowering you. And I did want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of something that I'm working on. So on Saturday, August the 16th, I'm working on recording a live version of the Kat Myers Show from a podcast studio in Atlanta. The company is new. It's Black owned, young people. I'm excited to support them, excited for them to support me in this journey. And then after the live show, I'm going to have a book signing in Atlanta. So this is huge. I've had 2, 3 book signings in Columbia. I took some books up with me to New York this weekend for my family reunion. And thank you again to my family who found it not robbery to purchase. I really, really am so grateful. So this will be my first official book signing out of state. I'm crossing state lines, y'all, just over to our neighboring state. But Atlanta is one of my favorite cities. My phone number, zip code is actually Atlanta, just trying to manifest. I spent a summer in Atlanta at an amazing law firm for an amazing opportunity that I received when I was in undergrad. Greek Picnic was held in Atlanta, probably still is held in Atlanta. I crossed as a AKA in spring of 2008. So I love Atlanta. I have family in Atlanta, friends in Atlanta, sorority sisters in Atlanta, college roommates in Atlanta. I could go on and on. So to all y'all listening, get ready. Saturday, August 16th, I will be in the city. I'm probably going to be there all weekend. But that Saturday, I'll be doing a live taping of the Kat Myers Show, followed by a book signing. So I haven't announced it yet, but for y'all listening today, I wanted to give you that sneak peek. I'm working on the flyer. I'm getting the venue and all the specifics locked in. But I'm super excited about it. And I'm super excited about you. So with that being said, whatever it is for you, good morning, good night. Thank you for listening in to another episode of the Kat Myers Show.